Today is Saturday, February 2nd. I am your host, Milan Trezor, yes, Pittsburgh's own, Milan Trezor. And what do we get ready to do here? We're going to cut through the bull, we're going to sort through the mess, and when we get the facts straight, then we're going to what? Swipe left. Thank you guys so much. I have to take a moment before we even get started to thank you for all of the outpouring and love that I actually received for the last 2 weeks. Last week was really a big one for me. You guys showed up and you showed out. I really, really appreciate the support and I love you guys. So, without further ado, let's get started. We got a lot of little things to talk about. A lot of stuff was going on this week. Now listen, first things first. Last week, there were 3 people who actually did super chats during the actual premiere of the show on Saturday at 12 p.m. And I want to shout them out right now. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Now let's get to sorting out some of this mess that we actually have that went on. There was a little bit of sad news, and I want to take care of that because let's just take care of that first. This person here is actually a legend. Whenever you heard the voice, you knew exactly who it was. James Ingram. Yes. 100 Ways, James Ingram. Baby Come to Me, James Ingram. That's the James Ingram I'm talking about. Unfortunately, we have actually lost our legend this week. He was 66 years old and he actually has lost his battle with brain cancer, and we've lost James Ingram this week. So it was really a sad moment. You know, it just seems as though we're losing too many of our legends, and it's all so close together. It's starting to bother me a bit, but we are losing our legends. James Ingram was a Grammy Award winner. He actually had 2 wins under his belt. He also dominated the charts in the 80s and the 90s. So for some younger viewers that I have, you probably don't know exactly who I'm talking about. You would do yourself good to go to YouTube, search James Ingram, I-N-G-R-A-M, just like it sounds, and listen to the music. Baby, that's real music. Real music. There was nothing like James Ingram and Quincy Jones together. Please. Always a hit. Always a hit, I'm telling you. James Ingram was something special, and he has actually left us at this time. So rest in peace, James Ingram. We are definitely going to miss you and that wonderful voice. All right, you guys. Swipe left. Okay. So let's talk about Wendy Williams. We have been anyway. Wendy Williams still hasn't come back to her show. She still hasn't made her way back. What I have heard, though, in my travels, is that Nick Cannon is going to take over some hosting. Nick Cannon is scheduled to host the show February 4th through February the 6th. So Wendy still has no return date. What did I tell you last week, Wendy? Bitch. You better find your way home. You hear me? You had better find your way home, girl. Beginning of the end. Nick Cannon is the host of all hosts. He's the last one you want sitting in your seat for any amount of time. Miss Wendy, girl, get back to your post, Miss Thing, before there is no post to get back to. Now, I'm not going to keep warning you every week. Nick Cannon, February 4th through February 6th. Wendy, you in danger, girl. Swipe left. Good news for my girl, and you know, this next person, she holds a special place in my heart. Miss Taraji P. Henson. Yes, Taraji P. Cookie! That Taraji P. Henson. You all know I am a huge Empire fan. If you've watched any of my YouTube videos and you see my intro, you know I'm screaming Cookie like a fool. I love, love, love that character, Cookie Lion. Taraji P. Henson is a extremely talented actress. She's been around forever. She has definitely put in the work. I fell in love with Taraji when she got to Cookie, though. I mean, I seen her work, I appreciate her work, but it was just something about the mashup of her and Cookie Lion. It just spoke to my soul. Don't judge me. But it spoke to my soul. I love Cookie Lion. But Taraji P. Henson is a Baltimore native. So Baltimore, shout out to you guys, and you all should be very, very proud. Taraji is 49 years old right now, and she received her star on the Walk of Fame this week. Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. So right now you can go down there and you can step on it, take pictures of it, lay down on it. Your girl, Baltimore, has her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. There were speeches that were done by Mary J. Blige and John Singleton. She was accompanied there by her son, her mom, and her grandmom. She had a very, very touching speech. The speech was, it got me right up in here, honey. And I said, Mr. Ross, you're not going to take me out with this speech. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You're not going to mess up my makeup. We're not going to do any of that. But she was trying me. She was trying me. She got to talking about how her grandmother thought she was never going to live to actually see this day where her baby actually became the star that she said she was. And she made it, baby. 94 years old. She was right there in L.A. to see Taraji get her star. So, you know, what do you say? What do you say to that, honey? 94 years old. Same age as my grandmother would have been this year. And I'm like, I am here for it. I am so here for it. I'm so happy for you, Taraji. So happy, girl. You deserve it. You definitely deserve it. But the speech was completely emotional. She told the story of how when she actually got to L.A., she literally, all she had was $700 and a 1-year-old. Just took her son, stepped out on faith, and took her behind to L.A. and said, I'm going to make it. And she made it. And when she was telling that part of the story, a woman hollered from the back that she had actually just got to L.A. and she also had $700 and a baby. I said, Lord. And Taraji told her, girl, you going to make it then. You're going to make it. She said, but I hope you got a plan. I said, girl, she's just crazy. But it was just, you know, when the planets line up, baby, it's always goodness. So congratulations to our girl, Miss Taraji P. Henson. And A, one more time for the road girl. Work out, Cookie! Work out, girl! Swipe left. Okay. So, you all know we're getting ready to start with, we're all in the midst of award season, okay? So let's talk about the SAG Awards. And I got a lot to say about the SAG Awards. We're actually going to have a real petty fashion moment with Mimi during this talk that I'm going to have about the SAG Awards. It was the 25th annual Screen Actors Guild Awards. Now, listen, these are the ones that stuck out because I'm not going to sit here and go through all the awards. Congratulations to all the winners. Yeah, all that's nice, honey. Let me tell you about the ones that actually were good for me. Okay. 1, Lifetime Achievement Award went to Morgan Freeman. I'm here for it. Best Cast in a Motion Picture. This was actually a historic landmark. Are you all paying attention? Come on in. First time. First time, baby. 1, they didn't say this, but I'm going to say it. Never had a cast with this many African American folk. snatch this award. They didn't say that, but I'll throw that one out there. So that was historic. But here it is. This is the first time ever that a superhero movie actually has won this award. And yes, it was Black Panther. It was Black Panther. You know what? They are definitely getting their just due. The movie was beautiful. It was a beautiful movie. It had a wonderful story. It was shot good. It had the best actors and actresses that we had. Some of the most beautiful people were in this movie. And they did the daggone thing. And they deserve to win all the awards that they're winning. This was wonderful. Now, you know there's always got to be some mess. Always got to be some mess. Listen, let me tell you. You Marvel fans, I have something I want to say to you all. Don't try it here. Don't try it. You all had the nerve to sit back and get on Twitter and start carrying on Mad Baby with Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, because he didn't thank Stan Lee in his speech. Is this what we're doing? Really? This is what we're doing? Down to the Twitter? You all don't try it. And of course, you know, when you get up there, you're nervous, you're trying to thank everybody, and it's a full cast. The whole cast is up there. He's speaking for everybody, and he forgot Stan Lee. Okay, so what you going to do, take him out back and shoot him? He then, later on, he actually included him in his Twitter thank you list because there was more people that he had forgot while he was on stage. Stan Lee was definitely in that list. Okay, so excuse me, people. Y'all did all that carrying on about him not remembering to thank Stan Lee. But I didn't hear anybody carry it on at the actual guild. The Screen Actors Guild completely forgot him in the in memoriam. When they did the whole listing of all the people who we lost this year, they didn't include Stan Lee. Y'all didn't attack them on Twitter. So listen, rest in peace, Stan Lee. It's definitely a loss on everybody's part. Stan Lee played a huge role in my growing up and a whole lot of other people before me, and listen, and people who came after me. So he is definitely a legend. It's definitely a great loss. But what you're not going to do, you're not going to try it with Black Panther. Y'all going to leave T'Challa alone. No, ain't nobody playing these games. It was an oversight. It was an oversight. Rest in peace, Stan Lee. Chadwick, baby, do what you been doing. You got it going on. And we're going to swipe left on these folks in a minute. Just 1 minute. Don't worry. Mimi's going to swipe left on them. Just hold on. Before I swipe, though, I need to have a fashion moment with you all. The fashions down to the SAG Awards. I watched all the little stuff from the red carpet, and I was underwhelmed, to say the least. There was literally no one on the red carpet that blew me away. A whole award show, and not one person blew me away on the carpet. It was just, there were some people that looked okay, you know, but nothing that made me jump up and really, really want to talk about it. Okay? And then there were two that I felt, I'll go ahead and I will talk about these just for the sake of talking about them. But I don't really have anything all that great to say. Okay? And these two people are Lady Gaga and Angela Bassett, both of whom I love. Love their work, love them. Okay, but I'm getting ready to attack you girls, so just get ready. Anyway, so first off, let's look at Gaga. Now, Gaga was almost a vision. And I'm going to tell you, from the waist up, I was completely here for Gaga's look. From the waist up. I was here for it. Totally here for it, except for her makeup. I thought her makeup was too drastic for all of this beautiful white. Everything, just the fit was perfect. Everything was just, I love the hair. Everything. The hair wasn't too much. Everything was good. Her makeup, the lipstick, the eye, it was all too drastic. Way, way too vampish. And then, when I looked down, this slit. The slit, I didn't even have a problem with the slit being so high. I didn't. I didn't have a problem with the slit being that high. But what was that little piece? Like they had cut it high and then decided they didn't want it high. And I'm looking at it and as I looked at it, it gave me the feel of an old Destiny's Child video. And I was looking at it and I was definitely saying, no, 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 no. No, it's not yes, 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 yes. It's no, no. No, no. No, 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 no. It was just wrong. And I said, if they had just closed it all the way up, I would have been fine. It would have been perfect. If they would have just closed it up and just left the slit out altogether or left the full leg. But the little Destiny's Child piece, I couldn't get with it. I couldn't get with the survivor leg. Couldn't do it. And then I looked down at the shoe and I said, now Gaga, girl, no, no ma'am. No ma'am. We are not going to be standing out here in a gown that costs multiple thousands of dollars. And you're standing out here with this basic white Easter pump. Girl, where are you going? No, ma'am, Gaga, you know better than this. She definitely needed, if you're going to have this leg out, you definitely needed a very dainty, beautiful shoe, something with crystals or it just had to be something. It needed to be something very dainty, very light, and very eye-catching. Baby, a pure white Easter pump is, child, true signs of a true whore. I said, girl, where are you going with the pumps on, honey? It did. The whole thing. That pump, that split with that little piece hanging, it just gave me, from the waist up, Gaga gave me, well, the waist to her lip. She gave me, yes, I'm going to the awards. The lip, the shoe, the insert on the slit, all gave me a strong host stroll feel. And I just wasn't here for it. Nope. Wasn't here for it. I said, okay, but all right. I mean, it wasn't the worst I seen. Now, the worst I seen was my poor girlfriend from the Coven. I hate to do it, but yes, Miss Angela Bassett, girl. I have one thing to say about this dress at this time, honey. Little Bo Peep, why the hell are you wearing that sheet? When I looked at this dress, the color, just everything about it just remind me of these blankets that my great-grandmother used to have. And y'all might remember this, some that are as old as me. The blankets were very heavy. I remember this from being a child. They were very heavy, and they had like little balls on them. Like, I don't know, it was like little balls on them, and they were very, very warm, and she would put these blankets on you, and you were there for the night. She never had to worry about anybody getting out of the bed because you couldn't move that goddamn blanket. It was as heavy as shit, and it was just cumbersome. And I'm looking at it, and the way the dress is cut in that ruffle situation, and the legs out, and all of it. You got on the stripper shoe, and it was just wrong. It was wrong. Everything. Her hair, everything was just wrong. I said, Angela, really? And it just felt like one of those moments where someone wanted to be different, but they went too far to be different, and it just flopped. It just flopped. And then I saw a picture. That dress was right. It was off the runway. It was off the runway. It looked terrible on the runway model. It really did. Because the runway model naturally was a stick. Angela Bassett's built like a brick shithouse. But the dress itself just doesn't have any shape. It's just, well, it just literally hangs from the shoulder. And it's just ugly. And I was really hurt in my spirit to have to say that Angela Bassett was by far the worst dressed at the SAG Awards this year. Just awful. Just awful. Okay, so now that I've unloaded on everybody, and keep in mind, I still do love Gaga. Okay? Caught in a Bad Romance? Yes, she was with that dress. And Angela, girl, don't work no spell on me, bitch. Don't work no spell on me. I still love you, girl. Anyway. Swipe left. Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Listen. Walk with me, my loves. Yeah, y'all know who I'm talking about, honey. I ain't even have to say her name, honey. This one. Miss Monique. Okay, listen. Let's start with the good news first. Let's start with the good news first. And this is terrible because it's becoming a pattern. As soon as you hear Monique's name, you be like, oh, what the hell, bitch, and this time. You know, it's like, okay, this is good though. Monique is doing a residency in Vegas. So, you know, I was very happy when I heard this because I was so afraid when all of the stuff went down with her last year with the whole thing with her and Oprah and Tyler Perry and Lee. I'm like, girl, all the heavy hitters. She just like went out in the middle of the street with all the heavy hitters and was like, the hell with it, honey, and just got the windmill. And I said, what the hell's wrong with her? So she has gotten everything going. She's gotten a residency in Vegas. Fabulous. You all know Vegas is like one of my favorite hangouts. Maybe when I swing myself through there, maybe I'll actually go down and see Monique. Maybe. But I am not. I am not canceling my Netflix, bitch. I'm not. Okay, so Monique goes on to The Real. Okay? The Real. And baby, it got real down to the real. You understand me? Adrienne Bailon. Girl, listen. Listen. You all know that I am the first one to jump on my YouTube channel and start talking about people who do what? BP and PP, honey. I can't do it. If you get down there and you backpedal and you pussy pop, I can't do it. I just have to. I have to come and say, oh, don't you do it. Adrienne Bailon, baby, I'm going to give it up for you because you did not backpedal and pussy pop. You stood in your stuff right in Monique's face. Honey, Monique addressed her on the show. Okay, if you may not have seen the clip. You can actually pull the clip up on their YouTube channel, on the Real YouTube channel. Just go backwards. Whenever everything went down with Monique, okay, Adrienne made a comment on the Real and said, just because you're loud doesn't make you right. Okay? And she said, you know, there was a different way that Monique could have actually did what she was doing, and she was out of order. And those were her feelings. And that was real. So Monique comes on the show. Now, she comes on the show, and I really believe that Monique thought it was going to go the same way as it went. See, Lonnie Love has said some stuff about Monique once on the show. And Monique come on down to the show, baby, and then her and Lonnie basically squashed their beef. It was a very soft backpedal and pussy pop on Lonnie's part, okay? Very soft, you know. There was, you know, she apologized to Monique and all of this, and they squashed. Baby, listen. She wasn't getting it from Miss Adrienne Bailon. You understand me? She was not getting it. Adrienne stood in her shit, and I was here for every moment of it. And Monique and Adrienne, they were going, you know, it never got like heated. It was really tame and very professional. And I think in one part, I'm looking at Monique's face, and you all go look it up on YouTube. Monique's face, I think she was shocked that Adrienne literally was not backing down. She said, you know, that's why the show is called The Real. We can agree to disagree. I understand what you're saying, but you know, what you did, what you said, it just, you know, I said what I said, and I was like, girl, she's not backing down. And then at one point, Lonnie kind of stepped in and said, now see, she smoothed it. She smoothed it because it wasn't going anywhere. And was given, it's The Real, we can be adults, and we're all sisters and all this. I was like, bullshit. I call bullshit. Monique came down here and tried to run over Adrienne, and Adrienne wasn't going for it. Adrienne was not backpedaling, so I am definitely going to bow to Miss Adrienne for holding your stance and not BPing and PPing. Girl, I was here for it, Miss Adrienne. Honey, Miss Monique, girl, you were molded. you were. Girl, you thought that it was going to be, you thought she was going to cower to you, girl, she didn't. I said, right, honey, a mess. So that went on, and Monique still wanted to win. So she says, you know, she threw out there that Adrienne was not old enough. She hadn't walked in her shoes. If you're not as old as me and you haven't walked in my shoes, then you can't really say that there's a better way for me to do something. And Adrienne said, well, yeah, I definitely believe that no matter what age you are, you can always offer another way for people to do. I said, oh, Miss Adrienne, Adrienne, you better tell Monique to stop and get out of your damn face. In such a nice, pleasant, professional way. She was giving her girl, don't come in here with that bullshit. I was like, I was here for it. I was totally here for it. I was really here for it. But Monique, you got a girl. You can't just keep running around really just saying any old thing you think you want to say to people and thinking everybody going to go for it. Because you call them my love and all that. And you, girl, you really be talking stuff. You really do. She done called, wait a minute, have y'all heard? She called Whoopi the help. The help. Whoopi, when she went on to, I'm jump shows now, she went on to The View, and Whoopi told her about that same situation. I wish you had called me when all that was going on, and I could have actually schooled you and helped you through how all of this works and that kind of thing, and maybe it wouldn't have gone down this way. Honey, and she said basically that Whoopi couldn't tell her nothing about how things go because she's always been the help. The help. Whoopi Goldberg. Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Monique. I like you, girl. I like you, but at the point that you standing up here now, girl, okay, now that's Oprah, that's Lee Daniels. You went on, and now we on the Whoopi. And now Whoopi's the help, right? If Whoopi is the help, Monique, I guarantee you need to call her tomorrow and see where she can find you a shit pie, okay? If she's the help. Because, girl, ain't nothing that you're doing that's putting you at the status of Whoopi. When people say Whoopi Goldberg, your name is not coming up in that same conversation. And girl, I dig you. I really do. But, mama, your name is not coming up in the conversation with Miss Whoopi, honey. The help? Girl, help yourself out of that conversation, Monique, girl. And guess what? Ain't nobody canceling their Netflix. You can take that to the bank. Swipe left. Can we talk about matrimony? Matrimony, and what does it mean to you? Because I thought it meant the same thing to me as it did to this beautiful couple. Yes, B. Smith and her husband, Dan Gaspy. They have basically been married for 26 years. 26 years. 6 years ago, B. Smith, you all know B. Smith is like she's the African-American equivalent of Martha Stewart, okay? Everybody loved B. Smith. She had a show and all of the, there was, at one point, she was a really big deal. She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's 6 years ago. And her husband, they did all kind of shows, they did all kind of television interviews, and he was sticking by her, and it was just a beautiful thing. I mean, I've been brought to tears on multiple occasions seeing their story and them in some of their interviews. Well, B. Smith's husband has started to date. And the Alzheimer's disease, it's gonna win. That's just, I mean, there's no way to actually get around it. At some point, it's going to win. She's going to succumb to it. 26 years of marriage. And I don't know what conversation went on between B and Dan. Because, Alzheimer's takes you down to, there's going to be times when she don't even know who he is, or who she is, or what part they play with each other. You know what I mean? But then it can come and it can go. And all those kinds of things go on with Alzheimer's. I watched it with my great-grandmother. Not my grandma, but my grandmother's mother. So I've seen the disease from the beginning all the way through. I've seen how it actually works. But now you're taking care of this woman. You vowed to take care of her. And now you have a girlfriend. Okay. I had heard about that, and I said, all right. Now for me, matrimony is just that. If you're married to me, I don't give a dang what the situation is. You and I gonna be married to the dirt. That's it. To the dirt. You can't have no other girlfriend while you married to me. Okay, not when you fucking with me. No, you can't. You can't have another girlfriend. It just, no. No. But, like I said, I don't know what conversation the two of them had. And maybe she said, once I go down, I want you to be happy or whatever. Here's where the problem came in, okay? Dan not only had the girlfriend, because I ain't say nothing. When I heard that he had the girlfriend, I'm like, okay, whatever. Dan done moved the girlfriend on in the house. Now, wait a minute, Dan. The man. You doing too much, boo-boo. He done moved the girlfriend into the house, And I'm running around seeing pictures with him and the wife and the girlfriend. No, no, ma'am. And then and then you know that she don't know who this broad is. I doubt very seriously that she actually realizes what's really going on at this stage of her disease. Come on, seriously. And you do what you do in your own private time. And it's your business. But when you start posting pictures on Instagram and carrying on, and then making captions on the pictures, hate it or love it, oh, so now you 50 Cent? Hate it or love it, you gonna still shine? Really? Yeah, okay. You definitely are not the MVP. I ain't feeling this. You all tell me in them comments, what do you all think about Dan the man having himself a new woman and then moving her into B's house? They got a daughter. You just moved this whore in on top of it. And see, I done called the woman all out her name. But that's what she is. Because how do you feel about yourself, ma'am? How do you feel about yourself, ma'am? I would love to interview her so I could ask her, how does it feel to be a wife-in-law? Because that's what you are. Because your boyfriend is married. He's married, and I don't care what stage of the disease B is in. She's still alive. Still alive. She's still his wife, and you're the wife-in-law. How does that feel? And then you took yourself and you moved down into that woman's house, knowing that that woman, 9 times out of 10, doesn't know what part you're actually playing. I don't know. I don't like to just throw names around. But for me, there's a word that actually comes to mind, and I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again for you all. Whore comes to mind. I don't know. That's could just be me. Tell me what y'all think about that in the comments, honey. Moved into the house. Whore. Swipe left. Okay. I think the worst thing that I've actually come across this whole week was actually, it was this story about JesseSmollet. And I did a whole full video on this situation of Jussie being a part of a homophobic and a racial attack. This actually took place on Monday. And the details were very sketchy. And they are sketchy. And Chicago, it took place in Chicago. Chicago PD is actually, they're ruffling through, and I know by now you all have heard the story. Jussie actually went to a Subway to get a sandwich at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and when he left out of there, he was approached by 2 men wearing ski masks, and they were making reference that this was MAGA country, which is, you know, MAGA, Make America Great Again. That all, you know, kind of puts a bad light right back on number 45. And they beat him. They tied a rope around his neck in a noose style. They threw bleach on him. He fought. He was able to get away. He had fractured ribs. He was out of the hospital by the morning. And then it just started to get sketchy. It started to get sketchy after that. Chicago PD started gathering hours and hours and hours of surveillance tapes. There's 2 suspects. But again, we're talking about Chicago. Okay? Chicago is bitter, bitter cold. So it's not strange to see anybody with a ski mask on in Chicago this time of year. The surveillance tape, they couldn't zoom in and get a distinct picture of who these people are. They definitely were going to check these people out, because there's two people that they did actually see. They don't actually see any actual physical altercation or Jussie interacting with these two people. They just see this one piece of tape of these two people walking, which is kind of strange to be out walking that time of night in that bitter cold in Chicago. So they definitely have questions for them. Then there was a whole thing where they have asked Jussie to turn over his cell phone, and Jussie refused. So this is not helping. This is not helping, and now Jussie is actually being questioned. People are starting to question, are you telling the truth? Or are you not telling the truth? What's being left out? There's a lot of speculations around. I really don't know. At this point, I really don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. I don't know if this is... Okay. If this was an actual attack from racists and homophobes, awful. Or is this an internet hookup that actually went bad and we're trying to save face because you don't want to be embarrassed and you're a celebrity and you don't want that all out there? Is that the case? Because that's something that somebody else is saying, which I can't even imagine that Jussie would be that careless. I can't even fathom it. But this is one of the questions. Yeah. So this is kind of where we are with this. I have to keep my ear to the street to find out more about this. I need to find out more about this. This is a whole mess. A whole mess. So, I will definitely be keeping my ear to the street on that little situation. I'm going to swipe it for now. You all, tell me in the comments, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this? And then we're going to swipe it until later, okay? All right. Swipe left. This has been another episode of Swipe Left, here with your host, Milan Trezor. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys next Saturday at 12 noon sharp. Same place. And remember, here on Swipe Left, baby, we cut through the bull, we get to the mess, get the facts right, and then we what? Swipe left. All right, you guys. See you guys next week.